My name is Carlton Cartwright. I am the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated. And today is November 3rd, 2023, and we are at the Oaks at Riverview Nursing Home. Okay, and sir, what is your name?
Robert Newman.
Robert Newman?
Yes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Newman. How are you today?
Okay.
Good, good. When is your birthday?
My birthday?
Yeah.
2/13/43.
Okay. Where were you born? Where? Where
In
were
Yonkers,
you
New York.
born? Yonkers?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And what city do you live in now?
I live in Tampa.
Okay, Tampa, Florida.
I live
Okay.
right across the street.
Oh, really? Okay, that's convenient. All right. What branch of the service were you in?
The Navy,
United States Navy. What year did you go into the Navy?
1960 to 1967.
Okay, and what were you doing prior to the service?
I was working for a hardware store for like 20-some odd years.
You did, before you went into military?
Before I went to the military.
You worked for?
I worked for a hardware store.
Really?
When I was 8. I went to the hardware store about when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
And I worked there for almost 30 years after that.
Okay.
When I was in I had to go to the service. I went into the service first. Afterwards, in between, I did both.
Right. Okay. All right. Interesting. Why did you choose the Navy? What inspired you after having a job?
Well, because they were enlisting at that particular time, and I was not going into the Army.
You what now? I'm sorry.
I was not. They were enlisting at that particular time. They didn't ask you. They just told you.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I'm not doing that. I told my mother, I'm going into the Army, into the Navy.
Okay. So you got drafted.
No, I enlisted.
You enlisted.
Right.
Okay. So what was that conversation you were just trying to explain to me?
They were. Excuse me.
The military?
They were, taking people. You know, not enlisting them, but I mean, just they had a I don't know what they call it, but they were telling people to go into the service.
What year was that?
1959.
Okay, all right. So they were trying to get people to come into the service?
Yeah, and nobody did, so they started to just pull it out and bring them into the service.
They were drafting people?
They were drafting people, right.
Okay, but you decided you didn't want to go in the
No,
Army?
I didn't want to go in the Army at all.
And you went in the Navy?
I went into the Navy.
Okay, all right. And so, again, what year was that? 58?
1960.
1960. Okay, but at that moment in time, you were working already? You had
I
a
was
job.
working already, so my boss said, that's fine, you go do what you have to do.
Got it.
And I did.
All
And then
right.
I came back and I got the job back.
Still had your job back, yeah, right, exactly. Okay, so, where were you at the time you went into the Navy? Where were you living?
I was living in Hastings on the Hudson, New York.
Right, you said Yonkers, right?
It's right next door to Yonkers.
Gotcha, okay. So, where was basic training at?
In Great Lakes.
Oh, okay. And how long was basic training?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes.
That was quick.
That was because they were trying to get people in. You know.
Right, yeah, okay. All right, where'd you go to tech school?
I did that on board ship when I was on Roosevelt.
Okay, all right. And what was your MOS? AIT, whatever. What were you being trained as in?
As a yeoman.
And what does that job consist of?
That is doing. I was working in the office doing personnel records.
Okay, all right. Okay, and so how was basic training for 2 weeks? What were the instructors like?
The pain in the neck. I could say something else, but I won't.
Okay, all right. We'll be civil. Not a problem.
Yeah, right.
We'll make. How was the food?
Terrible.
Was it really?
Yes.
I thought the Navy had some of the greatest food that there was to be had. No, huh?
garbage.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay. So, how long did you serve?
7 years.
Okay. Served 7 years. What was your rank when you separated?
When I separated,
Yeah.
E3.
E3. Okay. What is that? Petty
That's
officer?
no, just a regular
Seaman?
seaman.
Okay. All right. So your job, you were a yeoman, so you did administrative work?
Administrative work.
Right. Okay. So, how many tours did you have? How many?
I went to the Mediterranean twice.
Really?
I was in the Mediterranean for 18 months.
Mm-hmm. The first time.
Both times.
Both times. 8. So it's 36 months total.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what kind of ship were you on?
On an aircraft carrier.
Uh-huh. How big was that ship? That was a huge ship.
Yeah, it has 3,000 men.
Ooh, boy. Is that only men? Was it men and
Only
women?
men.
Only men.
Only men.
Wow.
That's before they did with the women.
Right, coexistence,
Yeah.
right? Okay, and so you were on that was your first tour, 18 months.
That was enough.
And
Yes, that was definitely enough.
it's enough the first time, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about it. What was it like?
Well, I had a maid actually when I was working in the administrative office. I was in charge of personnel records and make schedules, time schedules, duty roster,
Uh-huh.
and I was doing that, and that's what I was doing most of the time.
Okay.
And when I was in port, I was on tours. I
You-
took all the tours I could get
Oh,
because I didn't give myself any duty.
I won't tell.
Oh, please. My captain had a fit one time. Can I talk for a minute?
Yeah.
My captain had a fit one time because he came over to the office. He said, "Bob, I don't see your name on there." I said, "Oh, it's there. Like once a month." He said, "I never see you on board when we report." I said, "Absolutely not."
So, what were you getting away with?
I got away with it. I
Okay.
got away with it.
All right. Okay. So how many different places did you travel during that tour? How many different cities, countries?
I
whatever?
went to Italy, France, Athens, Greece.
Uh-huh.
I went to Venice, and I went to Spain.
Okay. All right. Through basic training and through that tour, were there any injuries? Did you ever get hurt?
No.
Okay. Do you have a disability now?
Yes.
Okay. We'll get to that. Okay, so you got to travel, you're doing your admin, and so where was your next, at the end of that tour, where did you go?
I went back to Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, and how long were you there?
About a month.
What did you do while you were there?
The same thing I was doing on the short ship.
Okay, administrative work.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then you got orders at the end of, you said 30 days, I believe?
Yeah.
And you went back
Right.
on the same ship?
Right.
Okay, and same tour, identical
Excuse
tour,
me.
or did you go to different places?
No. Same places.
Same places, huh? Okay, so how was the food on the ship?
The food on the ship was terrible.
Again?
I mean, really terrible. I wouldn't feed it to my dog.
I've been hearing all these stories. This is the reason I'm asking. I've been hearing all these stories all these years about how great the food was in the Navy,
No.
and now you're telling me 2 tours in a row.
The food is terrible.
So what? How'd you eat?
Well, I ate. I had to eat. I ate.
Yeah,
But
but it was not
it's
enjoyable.
not. My mother makes better food than that.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna touch that. Okay. So second tour,
was the same.
Same identical?
Same identical thing.
Okay, all right. Any casualties? Anybody get hurt?
No.
No. So when you went and visited these cities in Europe, what were those experiences like? Tell me about the two most memorable experiences that you ever had.
Oh, go ahead.
Two most memorable experiences you had.
Well, I went to Rome. Christmas Eve, and it was unbelievable, absolutely unreal. You don't realize until you're there what this place looks like, and it's absolutely fantastic. And the service was great, very nice, and very it was mild because there was a lot of people there. So, but that was a beautiful city, it really was.
Okay.
And then I went to Athens, Greece, which blew my mind. With all the Parthenon and all that, unbelievable.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't believe
the history.
I saw it, and those are the only two places I'd like to go back.
Okay.
Those are the only two places I'd like to go back.
What was wrong with France?
I like France because I went to Cannes, and they had the Mardi Gras.
Right.
And that was fun.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But otherwise, France is France. It doesn't send me any place.
Okay. So I think you said, okay, so you went to Italy, you went to Greece, you went to France. Any other place?
Venice.
Venice in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was Venice?
I went to Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was all right. And my friend said, well, why don't we go to the bullfight? I said, never. I said, okay, we'll to the bullfight. I didn't know they killed the bull. I walked out after about half hour after I saw all that blood flying.
Right, yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't want to have anything to do with that, huh?
No.
Okay.
And Venice was nice, but dirty. I mean, really dirty.
Really?
Yeah, because years ago, what they used to do is they used to, instead of having a plant for human waste and stuff like that,
Right.
used to throw it in the Rhine.
Right in the
water.
Yeah.
And it stunk.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't enjoy that very much.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But otherwise, everything I love. Greece, I keep on talking about. I love Greece. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Did you go to the islands or just Athens?
Oh yeah.
What islands did you go to? Did you go to Crete?
I went to Athens, and I went. I also went to. In Rome, I saw the Trevi Fountain.
The what?
The Trevi Fountain.
Okay.
Yeah. In Rome, I also saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Okay.
That was nice. It's not. They closed it down now.
Right.
Yeah. But I saw a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had a good time. It was great. It was really nice.
Good experience.
And then I went to in France. I went to the what's it called, Sestiere, which is a ski resort.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to go ski, so I put it that way. But they said to me, Bob, go into it was like snowing. It was like 15, 17 feet of snow in there.
Right.
He said, I want you to go into that pool. I said, excuse me, what are you, crazy? So I said, okay. I put a bathing suit on, and it was freezing out. He said, I want you to roll that snow first before you go to the pool. Excuse me.
Who was this telling you
But
to
I
do
was,
this?
the people that were working there,
Okay.
they said, you'll love it once it's finished. I said, oh, right, okay. So I rolled in the snow. He said, now go in the pool, because it was heated.
Uh-huh.
And I said, this is crazy. I am going crazy. But that was a lot of fun too. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you went. What year did you go into service?
1960 to 67.
Okay. So in 1967, when you got out of the service, what were you thinking about doing? Just going back to your old job, or what?
I already had my job, so I just went back to my job.
And where was you went back to Yonkers?
No, it was in Scarsdale.
Oh, in Scarsdale.
Yeah.
We're talking New York, not
Yes,
Arizona,
New York.
right?
No,
Yeah,
New
I
York.
think your zip code was 109.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And I worked there for another 37 years
right.
until I moved down here.
And what was that job again?
It was a hardware store.
Okay.
I was the manager.
All right.
I wasn't the owner, I was the manager.
Okay, I understand. So, did you use the GI Bill for anything when you got out?
No.
Nothing? No education,
still there.
housing, nothing?
Nothing. I haven't used it at all.
Uh-huh, okay.
Yeah.
What about your medical benefits?
I used the VA hospital.
Okay. all right.
That I use. That I have full benefits from.
Right, okay. So, what did you get a disability for? Did you get a disability?
I got a disability for my. I'm dyslexic,
Okay.
and they gave me that type of disability, and they also all types of. I had pains in my legs and things like that. All types of things like that. Right now I'm fine.
Okay.
I just had an operation a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
On my leg. And they were going to replace it. They changed their mind, so they didn't do anything.
Why did they change your mind?
Because the doctor changed his mind. He didn't want to do it. So I told him.
Okay.
He said, "You're too young." I said, "Excuse me." He said, "No." He said, "You'll be in more pain if I do this knee that you're not in now, and I don't want you to do that." So they decided not to do it.
Okay.
So I'm wearing a brace. That's
Is it a cartilage issue or what?
No, I have arthritis in here,
Okay. I got you. Okay.
and the bone is broken right here,
Mhm.
and the arthritis is going into the bone, which he said that's fine because this way it straightens it. And I go to the gym twice a week to exercise it.
Okay.
So,
So you're good.
oh yeah, fine. I
Okay.
feel fine.
All right. While you were on active duty, did you ever have a problem staying in touch with your family?
No,
No, that was always.
no. When I was overseas, that was that was a problem because the phones are very expensive overseas, like almost $25 a minute.
Wow.
So I didn't call my mother that much.
Right. Yeah.
But I wrote her every day, so
Okay.
yeah, because they took the mail out every day off the ship.
Okay. Good. Okay. Do you feel like you had all the supplies that you needed to do your job while you were in the service?
Oh yeah.
Okay. But you were never in combat, were you?
No.
All right. That's good.
I was in Cyprus, but there was no combat though.
In Cyprus? In Greece?
No, I mean in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, here?
Here,
In the Caribbean?
yeah. I was there for 6 months.
Oh, you were on tour, on a
No,
deployment?
that's where they sent me over there.
When was that?
1965.
Okay, so besides the 2 tours on the Mediterranean, this is a deployment?
This is a deployment.
Right, okay, and you said 6 months?
6 months.
With Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah.
And same job?
No,
What'd you do?
I did nothing. Literally, I did nothing. Because there was nothing to do.
So what was your job?
I didn't have a job. I was just there.
Okay. And
They never gave me anything to do.
really?
I sat around for 6 months doing nothing.
Okay.
So,
Were there any incidences or anything, or?
no.
All right.
They were just, actually, they were training us with rifles and stuff like that, which I don't deal with anymore.
Uh-huh.
But that's all they were doing. That's all there was nothing else.
Just
Just
training.
sitting around.
Okay, so while you were at Guantanamo Bay, did you go on leave?
No,
Not at all?
no,
Did you go off base?
no. I was on base.
Right.
That's where I stayed.
For 6 months?
Yeah,
And you didn't
nothing.
go on the economy at all?
No.
Okay. So you were only eating U.S. food,
Yes.
and you didn't experience the Latin cuisine?
No.
Did you want to?
No.
No. I've got to ask, what did the economy, did you ever interact with any of the people that lived there?
No.
Off base?
No.
Really? Wow.
Not at all.
Were you confined? Could you?
No, it wasn't confined. I could walk around the base and do what I want, but I didn't go off the base at all.
Did you have the ability to go off if you
Yeah,
wanted to?
I could have gone off into town and things like that, like my friends did, but no.
But you
I
didn't.
didn't bother.
Why?
Because I didn't feel like it.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if there was going to be an incident, so I wasn't going to take any chances. I just stayed on the base.
I take it you strike me as the type of person that likes to stay out of trouble.
Yes, definitely. I've never been in trouble in my life. There's no reason to be in trouble now.
Okay. I think I understand. Okay. Okay, so through your 7-year experience,
Mhm.
did you ever witness anybody either, fatally hurting themselves or
No.
being hurt?
No.
Or any really?
No.
Okay.
Only
All right.
me.
Huh?
Only me.
Only you. Okay. All right. Not a problem. So you weren't, no combat, no prisoner of war,
No.
medals and citations?
No.
None?
None.
Not one?
Not one.
Not a good conduct medal?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I think we talked about the food.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Okay.
I wouldn't feed to my dog.
I got you.
That's for sure.
Okay. Was there a lot of pressure or stress in any job that you had while you were in the service?
There was stress because there was always people, telling me what to do and all types of things.
Right.
It was a structure that I didn't like.
Okay, so speaking of that, basically, how did you get along with enlisted and officers?
I got along with everybody.
Okay.
It's just that the stress with the tension and everything that was going on. I just didn't like it at all.
What was going on?
Well, just on an aircraft carrier, it's always busy. With flights and things like that.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of paperwork to do, and a lot of the captains came over to me. Haven't you finished the paperwork? And they gave me the paperwork about 5 minutes ago. I said, "Excuse me, I don't have. I only have one hand."
Right.
I had that type of stress, but otherwise nothing.
Okay. All right. Okay, so. Okay, so did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Okay, so how'd you feel about that anyway? How'd you feel about?
I served my country. That's all.
That was it, huh?
That was.
Okay, I got you. I feel like basically you're a pacifist.
Yeah.
Make love, not war. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so answer me this. How did your service and experiences affect your life?
I became more mature, and more. I don't know how to say it. More of an adult than.
You matured.
I'm much more mature with it.
Okay. So
That made a big difference in my life.
In what respect?
Well, I was brought up in a very structured environment.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a tyrant.
He was a tyrant?
A real tyrant.
Okay.
Like if you're sitting in the dining room and you're eating dinner,
Right.
and you don't talk unless you're spoken to.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That went on for a long time.
Throughout your childhood?
Until my mother put her foot down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I'll never forget. Because when I ended up going to a psychiatrist.
Really?
Yeah, for 7 years.
Wow.
Just to get out of my shell.
Right. Yeah.
That I could talk. I was afraid to talk every time I walked in the house.
Okay.
And my mother put her foot down. She said, "Look, you're going out with me." And when I opened my mouth, when I got finished with the psychiatrist, I opened my mouth. My father said, "What are you saying?" I said, "I'm talking."
Okay.
And I walked away. My father didn't like me to begin with, so
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
he was a womanizer.
Uh-huh.
And when I was born, he wanted a girl. Didn't want a boy.
Did you have any siblings?
I had a sister, an older sister.
Okay, so he had his daughter already.
He had his daughter, but he wanted another baby, so he, you know,
Huh.
but he was a boy.
He only wanted girls,
Huh?
apparently. I guess he only wanted girl children.
He only wanted girl children.
Yeah.
It didn't work that way.
No. So he was.
Matter of fact, it was really funny. My mother told me years ago. She said, "Bob, I'll tell you what happened. My father dropped me off at the hospital to have the baby, right? He was working for the Navy base,
Right.
in New York, and dropped me off at the hospital to have the baby, and he came back that afternoon and said, 'So what did you have?' She said, 'I had a boy,' and my mother said, right out of her mouth, which my mother told her like it was.
Yeah.
She said, right out of her mouth, 'What do you want me to put it back?' That's exactly her exact words.
Right. Right.
Do you want me to put it back? And he never liked me from the day I was born,
Really.
because I was a boy.
Incredible. Okay, well, I want to thank you for your service and thank you for a
Thank
great
you.
interview. And I also need to know, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us
No, that's about
that
it.
you have not already?
No, that's about
So
it.
we good?
Yeah, we're very good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.